Yeah, I forgot a couple of things I wanted to say. Um, well, one thing, I like Glenn Gould. You might check that guy out on YouTube. It's just interesting. He's interviewed by a couple of guys. One of them is his friend, and they're so smart about music and classical music. Even if you don't know what they're saying, it's interesting to hear two highly intelligent people talking to you about the differences and the intricacies of classical music. And I've watched enough to see a lot of people saying Gould was the best ever at playing Bach's fugues. And I don't know exactly what a fugue is, but the famous Goldberg variations by Gould when he was 22. Interesting cat. Uh, eccentric, eccentric, but interesting to listen to. Highly intelligent. Also, I meant to talk about this earlier. Was there's an article? It says how the single mom is changing America, or it was an article about the single mom. And I was a single dad at my kid was 2 years old. And somebody was saying the other day, almost accusatory, "Well, you left when he was two." I'm like, "Man, I didn't leave. I was asked. I was asked to leave." And what do you get? 2 days every 2 weeks. 2 days every 2 weeks. 12 days with her, two with you. Wow. So I remember back in the day, 20 years ago, when I was going through it, there's an organization in France for single men to try to fight for our rights as a single man. Yeah, I'm into that. This article, and I'm all for people raising kids the right way, everybody. But it's about two different women raising their kids. They had them when they were older, in their 30s. It never said anything about the man, about how they got pregnant, or is there a daddy, or and is that I'm sure it's okay for some women to decide to have a kid on their own. I don't think that's the preferred way. I think preferably would like the mother and the father helping each other and helping the more natural way. And I know some gay couples, want children, and I believe in that right. But it's easy to overlook men and just take men for granted and try to lift up women and not care about men, because a lot of men are, well, most of the billionaires are men. Most of the murders, I'm sure, are done by men. But there are more women in college now. So there's been a push for women to get in education. And they're doing it. But now the men are falling behind. Are we going to jump in and try to help men? It's complicated being a human being. I think the Buddha said that. But we need to lift everybody up. Even the billionaires, I don't want to hate on them. I think they have way too much money and power and property, and it's hurting our society. But I don't want to hurt them as individuals. I just want to make society more level. And yeah, that means higher taxes on them. It means a wealth tax. And, people with a lot of money, they'll fight you with their lawyers and lobbyists and buy elections. The Supreme Court helped that with Citizens United. So Elon Musk spends $290 million. $290 million. One guy on an election. Wow. That's not what the Constitution is about. This has been corrupted. We, the people, has been corrupted. The general welfare has been corrupted, and we have to get it back. We have to take our country back for the people. Oh, and one more thing. We can get upset with each other for good reasons. A lot of the time, it's good reasons. We're all imperfect. I was waiting for this friend who I knew was going to contact me. And I worked on a email to send him. It's pretty negative, but I needed to get that out of my system, I guess, express myself. So I'm glad I did. But then when I got the email from my friend, I kind of decompressed and I threw away what I had written. And was that wasted time? I don't think so. I think it got it off my chest. And I needed to, I guess. And I don't have a therapist, and I don't know anybody here. So I guess that's the one way I can get it off my chest. But then I threw it away. So don't be afraid to express yourself in a journal or in a letter, and then later on you decide, okay, I don't want to send this. This is too angry, hurtful, maybe hateful. It's hard. Treat yourself right. Get you a flower once in a while, or buy a flower for somebody else.